Rating the comments, Wicked Jutto at Booms, Builder Jutto Outpost Lake Seneca, raid attempts 32, raiders killed 162, kill ratio 5.1, fun 7, brutal 8, ingenious 12, and artistic 7. You may have run prestige 5, but prestige 10 brings a whole new challenge to the mix. I've patched up a few weaknesses since your last run, so don't expect this to be as easy as the first time. Good luck. I recorded 29 seconds of looking at your base and monologuing and realized it was too long and stopped it and never reinitiated the recording. So I'm going to be commenting on the recording of the run itself. And it's okay. This one I didn't talk a lot on, so I kind of remember all the talking points. I thought it was in the other direction the first time, but I could be wrong. I don't really remember. But what he's done now is he is shored these up high, these Zeus's clouds. I accidentally throw that out. I'm like, fucking awesome, Joe. This is like the one base you can't make mistakes on. Did anyways. Trying to get an idea of how many of these I can break down. That first exploding one set the tempo off, which allowed these bombs to start raining down. I said I got to push forward, but what's cool about this setup is these guys are lined all the way down, so no matter what's happening, I'm looking at all this just being like, oh my god. Wherever you are, the previous set of guys have launched, and so they're covering that square or squares before and after. It's really good. So I'm like, I want to beat this in 10 lives. Here, I did it fucking again. I guess that part I wish I could have had you guys listen to, because that was like, dude, that's unbelievable. Because the margins for error are just so low. That clipped me in the leg. I forgot about that. Yeah. I was like, shit, man, this is way harder. He's shored up so many of the minor things I was able to move around and just put way more pressure on it. It's kind of cool because I get to like analyze this while not being stressed out, but you also miss some of the reactions that I think are fun. But at this point, I'm like, I think I just got to break a couple of these because these guys are just pressuring too much, and I need to. I'm like deciding, like, get the bubble down. Yeah. Just didn't get it down fast enough. So I'm like trying to figure out, like, do I have the right kit? Is this the one to approach with? I believe I need grenades because I'm worried about what you have later in the base. I want to save it for that, but I also don't want to waste my bubbles. So I'm just like trying to figure out, like, am I optimized for this run? And I keep going, I think I am. I'm not playing well. Like, I can't be throwing those bubbles down thinking they're grenades. So at some point I'm like, I got to remap those. And I'm like, no, because if I remap anything, I'm going to do the opposite and switch and throw that bubble down when I want a grenade or something. So these, I'm trying to get an idea where they drop. Kills Harvey. Because I want to make some progress and then come back. The idea is once they're volley launching, like, stay out here a little longer and then go in. Because those bombs should be coming down. But now I'm fighting against two kinds. I want to get down here and throw my bubble, but this guy right there. Nope. Where the hell is it? The bubble. Okay, yeah. And they are just lobbing them down. So I'm trying to clear what I can down there. And I got my bubble ready. Throw. Didn't throw the bubble. Should have. I thought I'm safe here. No. He put extended on and he's got sticky flames. It's so good. So now I'm like, oh man. And I'm looking at these. Going, are they on a random timer and just syncing up? Or are they on two timers that are, steady? Because I need to know, because I got this piston here to the left, and then this, that if I run down here, I got to make that shot. Otherwise, that flame's getting through and putting sticky behind me. So I'm like, all right, what do you do here? You got to save grenades for this turn. But the pressure is constant. It's just really good. So I don't know if it doesn't show you spinning in these. Can I speed this up? Oh, I can. Nice. Well, that's good. Then I can get me up there much faster. This is like in-game editing. And for some reason, that always throws me off, that first explosion. So it really, you got to get out of there, dude. Yeah, you waffled too much. And I thought I heard them initiate up here, like these top three, and I wanted to let the volley go so I could change directions, but the other two are on slightly slower ones, so it doesn't matter. It's like full coverage and like intermittent bombs of 3 coming at you, you know, at all the times covering all the area. It's just so good. I remarked, like, I'm like, I never thought about the advantage of the verticality and like keeping them out of reach. I just never thought of that. And the ability then to drop bombs with these, like, and they roll all the way the fuck down here. Killed Harvey again. And it's just good because they're protected, you know, because if you want to take them out, you got to bring the crossbow in, which is how I beat this the first time, I think. But I don't think with how this is set up that that's the correct play. That one, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that. So now I'm like, all right. Oh, you know what I said here? I was like, I thought I could outrun it. But with Jutto's base, it's so lean and like threatening that you can't, you just pop the bubble. You know, take the 5-second cooldown. Who gives a shit? I was like, I'll save it, but like, why? On a base like this, just use it. You know, that's why you got him. All right, so I'm slowly like formulating and getting that in my head as a plan. Like I need to make progress turn probably. Although I guess I'm holding my ground here, which I get as long as I can bring that second bubble down. It's the timing. I should be looking up at like when these are coming down because this is now a problem. Yeah, and I had no awareness. I could have looked up, but I was so trying to get like locked into getting down there that I was just trying to do it by hearing. But you can see they're all firing at different times, kind of. Because they detect at different times. They alerted at different times. So it's just really staggered and it's fucking hard. And he's got, wow, yeah, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 of these. Damn. How many bolts do you get with the crossbow? Is it 15? I think so. Or 18? I don't remember. Let me speed this up. There we go. I don't know what life this is. I think it's 5. Oh, if I unhide it, right, that'll like reveal things that people don't like, so everyone likes to be surprised. But I do like being able to fast forward here. Oh, okay. These guys, I want to see how far the bombs go. I think they only get to right there, so I'm kind of making note of that. The way they're set up, I don't think anyone has like an angle deviation that would allow it to bounce down the ramp. Please don't get any ideas, Jutto. This is good. You got to go. Perfect. Good timing. I like that I'm like patting myself on the back. What a weirdo. I'm like, great job. But that after seeing me fail that many times, I was kind of like, yeah. And the flame pressure, here it is. I realized that one's there, so I'm good. Now, sticky flames on that, I just realized, not to make my life harder, would mean that I'm getting burned right now and I'd have to push forward and I wouldn't have time to think of stuff. So I think it's worth that if you haven't maxed out, Jutto. Just, I just realized that would make this way fucking more annoying. And you'll see these sticky flames and how much they mess me up here in a little bit. So now I'm pretty sure I got the incinerator where I'm like, okay, this is Gucci. I just got to find a good spot. And I'm trying to look left and down to see if there's a flame covering this other lower triangle. And I'm trying to get the sides on these triangles because he's using sides or halves rather than the triangles down low. So they're covering halves of a hallway. You're getting a little more coverage. And he's kind of staggered it. So on the right side where I'm looking, and then the left side down there. So now watch this. I'm getting alerts, and I'm like, what? That thing. I'm like, what the fuck? And it was the sticky flames from the further. So I'm like, shit. And it gave me alert. Like, it was like, you're close. You're going to be in danger. So those sticky flames are, like, awesome here. I almost say, like, put them on all. Because it's just more shit to overwhelm if you got the budget. Though I think the incinerator ones are pretty expensive, aren't they? Aren't they like 15 for some of those? Can't remember. So I'm feeling good because I'm like, cool. There's nothing other than that at the back there. I can push up. I just got to remember what side's safe. So I need to push to keep right, basically. I just don't want to fuck it up. So I'm like making sure I'm... That goes up. You just got to push. Then this happens, and I'm like, fuck. Oh, my God. I didn't even think of this. So now I'm like, break these. You got to break them, dude. Break everything. Use everything. You got to go in a minute. Go. And then it's like, shit. Miss that, and then hit that for the bomb, maybe. Boom. I was like, fucking hell, dude. I actually said If that had hit me, that's what I'm saying right now. You would have heard me go, and you would have heard the wheels roll on the chair, and I would have had to walk to like decompress. And I was like, because I literally asked myself, like, what would you have done if that had fucking hit you? And that's what played in my brain. So it would have had to be a walk away. It was just, I wouldn't have, the thought of like having to do all that stress again would be like, just take a break for a second, dude, and come back. So I just, I'm talking about the yellow and reds, you know, those being the warning colors in nature's, you know, it activates your monkey brain. And so these are the two most threatening colors, pretty much. I mean, right? Yellow, black, and red are pretty much it for like alerting us. Like this puts us a little bit at ease, I guess, or at unease. And he's lined it. He's also put little tiny lights, you know, all the way up, lots of stimulation. I talk about how, like, you know, if you're looking at this, you're like, you know, maybe there's some things around the side. I tried that in my first run. He had it sealed up. He put these too high to jump up to. Everything here is just, this is like an example of like 99% muscle. Like this is about as lean as you can make a base. There's nothing wasted. Most things are perma, and he managed to make perma traps out of cannonbacks, which is awesome. Incinerators, pistons, yeah, this is like pure efficiency. And I'm like, there's no fat to trim. Even his like walk-ups and shit are like stressful colors and lights. So there's nothing on this thing that doesn't belong on it. And even the things on the side where you're like, well, you know, whatever, those block you from getting up higher and getting advantage and seeing things. So like everything is just really, really well done. I think the only thing that might have been fat is like the incinerator at the very end, because it's just an easy pop, you know. But you're talking 99% muscle on this thing. It's an extremely efficient killing machine. And I'm trying to think, like, speed runners and swords, the pistons are fucking you up. The incinerators are extra hard. Um, the bombs you can kind of chop with a light sword, but I don't know. This is just a really good base. So you guys got to check it out. It's Jutto, Jutto, and the outpost is Lake Seneca, Lake space capital Seneca, and just give this a look for yourself, because he's outdone himself. I think I said here, I'm like, this is ingenious and brutal. I mean, it can't be anything other. And most of his bases, I think he's definitely sent in two others, I think, maybe three. But all of them are just extremely clever killers. And not like, I wouldn't even call it bullshit killing, because those are still valid too. But like, he's smart, you know, about his kills. Like all of it's just efficiency. It's like a, you know, apex predator kind of thing. You know, that's what I would call this base, like an apex predator base, because it's just meant to kill you, and it's meant to outsmart you and outplay you. And I talked about, I don't pull it up, but I'm like, I wanted to beat this in 10. I beat it in 7, but I really wanted to, like, I thought I could beat it in 6. But then I say, this is a base I've already done. It's a base I understand the concept of going in, which is a huge advantage. Like, that's why, you know, when people are like, you know, your base wasn't that good to like some of the other guys, like, if they've run it before, well, if the element of surprise is gone, that's like such a huge part of bases. Like, you've seen it. You get better at a base the more you do it. I've done this one before, and it still killed me 7 times. I did it before and beat it before. Not exactly this, but it still killed me 7 more times. That's crazy. So like, that's how you know it's just a good efficiency build. Really cool, Jetto. Thanks for sending that in, man. Love your stuff per usual.